So many people believe that tingling hands, weak legs, or stiff joints are simply the price of growing older. Something to accept, something unavoidable. But here's the truth, these aches and numb sensations are not always just old age. In fact, studies show that nearly 1 in 3 seniors may actually be dealing with silent nerve damage. Not because their bodies are giving up, but because they're missing the right nourishment. Imagine this. A man in his 70s who loved to walk every morning suddenly found himself dragging his feet, gripping the railing just to climb stairs. He thought, well, this must be what aging feels like. But when he made small, simple changes, choosing foods that repair instead of weaken, he didn't just regain his steps, he regained his freedom. That's why this conversation matters. Because what steals away our independence isn't always time, it's the quiet, hidden decline that no one warns us about. And the most powerful defense isn't locked in a pharmacy or an expensive clinic. It's in the kitchen, in wisdom passed down from generations, and in science that now proves what our elders always knew: the body, when nourished, responds with loyalty. So, if you or someone you love has felt those pins and needles in the fingers, or stiffness that makes mornings hard, stay with me. Today we'll uncover what truly causes it, and the everyday steps you can take to protect your nerves, strengthen your legs, and walk with confidence again. Before we dive in, if you care about keeping your independence as you age, do me a favor, hit that like button, share this video with someone you love, and subscribe so you don't miss the next life-changing insight. And if this topic speaks to you personally, comment the number 1 below. Let's see how many of us are ready to take back our strength. When most people hear the word collagen, the image that springs to mind is often a jar of face cream or an ad promising youthful skin. But that is only a fraction of the story. Collagen is not simply about beauty, it is the hidden fabric that holds the human body together. Picture it as a vast, invisible web, binding your muscles to your bones, keeping your joints flexible, protecting your ligaments, and giving your skin resilience. It is the quiet architecture of life itself. And yet, time is relentless. After the age of 50, your body produces roughly 1% less collagen each year. Slowly, silently, the scaffolding begins to loosen. Combine that with stress, inflammation, or years of eating foods that deplete rather than restore, and the unraveling accelerates. Suddenly, climbing stairs feels heavier. A pen slips from your fingers. Your knees stiffen when you rise from a chair. Many shrug and say, that's just aging. But is it really? Here's a different perspective. Those aches, tingles, and moments of weakness are not just random punishments of time. They are signals. Whispers from your body saying, I need nourishment. I need repair. Ancient traditions captured this truth long before modern science. In Eastern medicine, the body is described as a flowing river. In youth, the current rushes strong, carrying vitality to every corner. But as the decades pass, blockages appear, stones of inflammation, sandbanks from poor habits. The flow weakens. The farthest shores, your hands, your feet, are the first to dry. Western medicine, with its language of nerves and cells, describes the same story differently. The longest nerves, stretching all the way to the extremities, are the most fragile. Their protective sheaths thin, their messages falter, and the result is familiar: tingling fingers, numb toes, a creeping weakness in the legs. 2 different lenses, 1 truth. Whether you see it as blocked energy or faulty wiring, the meaning remains the same: your body is asking to be nourished. And here's the hopeful part: nourishment is not locked inside a laboratory or hidden in expensive treatments. It can be found in everyday foods, in rhythms that honor rest, and in wisdom carried quietly through generations. When you give your body the raw materials it craves, protein to rebuild, minerals to protect, and yes, collagen to weave the strands back together, it responds. Faithfully. Gratefully. So if you've ever wondered why your knees complain or your hands feel like strangers, don't dismiss it as just age. Listen. Those sensations are reminders that your body still wants to serve you, still wants to move, still wants to hold. It simply needs the tools to keep going. And before we move deeper into how to protect and rebuild this invisible thread of life, let me ask you this: do you want to stay strong and independent in your 60s, 70s, even 90s? If your answer is yes, then take one small step today, like this video, share it with someone you care about, and subscribe for more insights that can change the way you age. And if you feel this message speaks to you personally, type the number 1 in the comments so I know you're ready to reclaim your strength. Sadly, too many people over 60 hear the same dismissive line: "It's just aging. Take some painkillers. Rub on this cream. Wait and see." But let's be honest, that advice is like covering a leaking roof with a tarp. The next storm will come, the water will find its way in, and the damage underneath will only grow. Masking pain without addressing its source leaves the body crying out for repair. Resting too much stiffens the body like a door hinge left to rust. Eating too little protein starves the delicate threads that knit muscle to bone. Avoiding movement out of fear only accelerates decline. The truth is simple but often overlooked: gentle motion itself is medicine, and food, real, nourishing food, is the raw material for healing. Together, they are not just maintenance, they are the path back to strength, freedom, and independence. And here's the surprising part: medicine doesn't have to taste bitter. When food itself becomes medicine, healing becomes joy. Each bite, each sip, becomes a small act of repair, a quiet renewal from the inside out. Let's step into this hidden pharmacy of nature, where fruits and traditional foods offer not just flavor, but restoration. Take dark chocolate, for example. Not the candy bar kind overloaded with sugar, but true chocolate, 80% cacao or higher. Within its slightly bitter richness lies a treasure trove of flavonols. These compounds improve blood circulation, reduce inflammation, and even encourage the growth of stem cells that help the body rebuild. In traditional wisdom, chocolate was said to move the blood and warm the spirit. Science now echoes that ancient view: better circulation means clearer thinking, warmer hands and feet, and more energy to move freely. A square or two of high-quality dark chocolate isn't indulgence, it's medicine dressed as pleasure. Or consider bone broth, a humble kitchen staple that modern science has finally caught up with. For centuries, grandmothers simmered bones for hours, believing that the strength of the animal could be passed into the broth. Today we know why: slow cooking releases glycine and proline, 2 amino acids essential for building collagen, the silk threads that repair cartilage, ligaments, tendons, and even the protective sheaths around nerves. For someone struggling with stiff joints or tingling fingers, a warm cup of bone broth is more than comfort. It is nourishment, directly delivering the building blocks the body needs to weave itself whole again. Then there is the kiwi fruit, small, fuzzy, often overlooked in the grocery aisle, yet bursting with healing power. Kiwis are among the richest natural sources of vitamin C, and vitamin C is the spark plug for collagen formation. Without it, collagen fibers remain weak, fragile, unable to do their job. But the story doesn't stop there. Research has shown that vitamin C also improves nerve conductivity. In other words, it helps the wires of the body carry signals more effectively. That tingling in the hands and feet? For some, the regular intake of kiwi fruit helps restore smoother communication along those nerve pathways. Tradition calls it strengthening the flow of energy. Science calls it optimizing electrical transmission. Both are describing the same river, flowing stronger and clearer. And what about pineapple? Most people think of it as simply sweet and tropical, but inside its golden flesh lies bromelain, a powerful enzyme known for fighting inflammation. In supplement form, bromelain is often prescribed to reduce swelling after surgery or injury. But in the whole fruit, bromelain comes accompanied by vitamin C, manganese, fiber, and a symphony of antioxidants. Think of it like an orchestra. Bromelain may be the soloist, but the vitamins and minerals provide the harmonies, creating a healing power greater than any single note. When you enjoy pineapple as part of a meal, you're not just soothing inflammation, you're feeding your body a full chorus of repair. And let us not forget berries, blueberries, strawberries, blackberries. Tiny as they are, they deliver a storm of anthocyanins, the pigments that give them their deep blues and reds. These compounds protect nerve cells from oxidative stress, improve circulation, and even sharpen memory. In studies of older adults, regular berry consumption has been linked to slower cognitive decline. In simple terms, these small fruits can help your brain and nerves age more gracefully. Every handful is like armor against the wear and tear of time. Another overlooked ally is papaya, with its enzyme papain. Much like bromelain in pineapple, papain aids digestion and reduces inflammation. But papaya also provides a broad spectrum of antioxidants like lycopene and beta-carotene. Together, they guard collagen fibers from breaking down too quickly, helping skin, joints, and connective tissue remain stronger for longer. Imagine it as a gentle shield, protecting the threads that keep your body woven together. Even humble grapes deserve a place in this conversation. Beneath their skins lies resveratrol, a compound that supports blood vessels and protects nerves. Grapes are nature's gentle tonic for circulation, keeping the pathways of nourishment open so that every cell can receive what it needs. Pair grapes with nuts or cheese, and you create a balanced snack that satisfies while strengthening your body from the inside. These foods, taken one by one, may seem ordinary. A kiwi in the fruit bowl, a cup of bone broth, a square of chocolate, a handful of berries. But together, they create a quiet orchestra of repair. They reduce inflammation, support circulation, protect nerves, and provide the raw materials for collagen, the very foundation that allows you to walk, to grasp, to move without pain. And that is the beauty of it. Healing doesn't always arrive in a pill bottle or behind a pharmacy counter. Sometimes it arrives in the kitchen, in the simple act of choosing the foods that rebuild instead of erode. For seniors, especially those facing tingling hands, weak legs, or stiff joints, these foods are not luxuries. They are tools. They are hope served on a plate, one bite at a time. Let me share with you a story that has stayed with me for many years. Mrs. Lin, a 72-year-old retired schoolteacher, once walked into my office with tears in her eyes. Her hands trembled so much that she could no longer write letters to her grandchildren. Her knees throbbed with every step, and the short walk to the market, something she had done for decades, had become a mountain she could no longer climb. She whispered to me, "Doctor, it feels like my body is slipping away from me." Her physicians had prescribed painkillers and creams. For a while, they dulled the sharpness of her pain, but never returned her confidence. The side effects left her weary, and the relief was fleeting. Slowly, she withdrew from the world around her. Crossing the street terrified her. Even sitting down to share a meal became a reminder of what she had lost. I looked at her and said, "Your body is not abandoning you. It is speaking to you. It is asking for nourishment." So instead of giving her another pill, I gave her a rhythm. Small rituals. Gentle nourishment. The kind of care that speaks to the body as much as it speaks to the soul. I told her to simmer chicken bones into a rich broth, to sip it in the quiet of the morning. I asked her to slice a kiwi in the afternoon, pairing it with a few almonds, letting the vitamin C and healthy fats dance together to support her nerves. And in the evening, I suggested something surprising, a small square of dark chocolate, paired with goji berries, as a final note of sweetness and repair. She laughed at first. "Soup and fruit instead of medicine?" she asked, shaking her head. I smiled and said, "Give your body 3 months. Then decide." When she returned, she no longer clung to her daughter's arm for support. Her steps were slower than in youth, yes, but steady. Her hands still trembled now and then, but she could once again write her name without fear of the pen falling from her grasp. And the best part? Her smile had returned, lighting up her face with a strength I hadn't seen before. "Doctor," she said softly, "it feels like my body is walking beside me again, instead of against me." That is the quiet power of consistent nourishment. It is not a miracle cure. It does not erase the years or make us 20 again. But it restores something far more precious: dignity, hope, and freedom. So, what about you? If you are over 60 and noticing tingling hands, stiff joints, or weakening legs, ask yourself, what gentle rhythm can you begin tomorrow? Start simple. In the morning, drink half a cup of warm bone broth. Let it awaken your stomach and soften your joints. Step outside and walk in the sunlight, even for 10 minutes. In the afternoon, choose fruits rich in vitamin C. A kiwi with almonds, guava with yogurt, or a bowl of cantaloupe sprinkled with lime and mint. Pair this with a few stretches to keep your circulation flowing. In the evening, allow yourself a small piece of dark chocolate with nuts or berries. Let it calm your spirit as it quietly rebuilds the silk threads that hold your body together. Morning warmth. Afternoon refreshment. Evening calm. Food for the body, movement for the river. One without the other is incomplete. Together, they create a rhythm of repair, simple, sustainable, and powerful. And remember, healing is not about chasing youth. It is about protecting independence, dignity, and confidence. Tingling hands, weak legs, stiff joints, these are not failures. They are messages, gentle reminders from the body. When you answer those messages with the right foods at the right time, and pair them with simple movement, the body responds. Slowly, steadily, faithfully. There's an old saying, the one who plants seeds today will sit in the shade tomorrow. Every bowl of broth, every piece of fruit, every step you take is a seed. In time, those seeds grow into comfort, strength, and freedom. So begin where you are. Start small. Try just one of these practices for a week. Notice the subtle changes. And then share your story, because your journey may light the way for someone else. Healing is not far away. It begins with the next meal, the next walk, the next choice. Each one is a gift you offer to your future self. If this message resonates with you, I invite you to be part of our growing community. Subscribe to the channel so you won't miss future lessons on nourishment and longevity. Like this video if you found it helpful, and share it with someone you care about, because the gift of health is meant to be passed on. Until next time, stay well, stay curious, and keep walking the path of nourishment.